Mainly for skills development. So we found that apprenticeships are a more practical way of enhancing skills for individuals. It allows individuals to learn on the job while they're learning, while they're studying at college. And at Hammond Co, we feel it's important that they receive training both at college and sort of real life. So if they are stuck on a module at college, we can then train them in-house to see how that would fit more practically or in the workplace. But also we implemented apprenticeships because it's quite cost effective for us. Apprenticeships tend to have like a lower wage compared to like fully qualified accountants and things like that. So for us, it has been a strategy that if we take on an apprenticeship, the funding for any training or anything will then like be offset against the value that they add as a more qualified member when they get there. But also apprenticeships, we tend to get quite a lot of loyalty from employees. So if they see us as an employer that's going to invest in them, fund their course, that sort of thing, then we feel a bit of loyalty back that they want to give back to the company as well. So they might stay here for a longer amount of time than someone who's already qualified that hasn't had that source of funds to them. With individuals coming in for apprenticeships with us, after they're qualified, we tend to see that as like career development. So once they've achieved like level 2 or level 3, that's when we'd sit down and review their portfolio and how they've done working on the job as well as studying. And if then's the time to have a pay rise or maybe look at another course that they can start studying, then that's when we'll do that. It's also benefited employees because they've gained confidence. So with individuals maybe just doing a college course and not really having that real life experience, they don't tend to get that confidence of customer service, answering the phones, that sort of thing. Whereas an apprenticeship, when you're working on the job, you tend to do quite a lot more of communicating with people that you wouldn't necessarily do that with if you were just studying at college. But also job satisfaction. So knowing that us as an employer have invested our development and to contribute towards that higher level of job satisfaction for employees, we've supported in their growth, we've supported with promotions and that sort of thing, so that there is a lot more like high morale in the business as well. I think when individuals come on an apprenticeship, they don't really know what to expect. So they know that they've got to study, but they don't know how that's going to match up with what they're going to do like at work. And we tend to make sure that whatever training we provide is linked with what they're learning at college. So whatever module they're on, we might implement something in the workplace to make sure that they know how that would be replicated in a job. So like problem solving, that's a skill that quite a lot of apprentices learn whilst they're on the job. It's like real world challenges, and being in the accountancy industry, it's knowing about tax returns and what that would mean, not only to clients, but if the apprenticeship wanted to maybe look at self-employment later down the line, they've got that bit of knowledge behind them before they go out and do their own thing. Also communication. So as mentioned earlier with the phone calls and things like that they wouldn't learn on a normal college course, this provides them those skills with customer service to make sure that they work better with not only clients, colleagues, suppliers, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of communication that would be had in a workplace rather than just at college. And just another point on that, the self-management. So when an apprentice comes to us, generally they've come like straight from full-time education, so they don't have a lot of self-management and that self-start in them. But we're hoping that when they leave or halfway through their apprenticeship, that they get that level of, there's deadlines to meet, I've got to do this, I know how to start my day. And that's like in the learning programme as well as learning the modules associated with their apprenticeship. We have 2 guys who started with us on apprenticeships, and they've been with us since 2016. So we're now very up to scratch with the workforce that we have. So we've got highly skilled professionals that have come from apprenticeships, and that's really benefited us because we've been able to train them to how we like to do things in our processes, to make sure that everything is completed on time and compliant. It's also increased productivity. So with apprentices with us, we can make sure that they're proficient in their roles, they can perform tasks more efficiently, and then that overall leads to better productivity in the business and meeting our KPIs. Yeah, so quite a lot of the apprentices that we've had have gone down the AAT route. So one person in particular, with the AAT, you learn stuff such as double entry bookkeeping, trial balances, financial statements, that sort of thing. So with them doing a bookkeeping job, that role is to ensure that they're responsible for keeping financial records for clients. So doing the AAT apprenticeship, looking at the double entry bookkeeping, ensuring that they're precise with the transactions, but also being compliant. So I know AAT does a module on ethics and things like that. So making sure that the work that they are doing at work is in line with what they're learning at college with the tax compliance. But also with the AAT apprenticeship, this comes down to the problem solving again. So if they experience discrepancies or challenges with financial records of the client that they're dealing with, they can use those problem solving skills that they've learned in AAT and identify root causes and implement procedures in how to help the client going forward. I would, yeah. I know I touched on the fact that we've got 2 people who started as apprentices and they're fully qualified accountants now. So that for us is a massive pro. It just shows that investing time and effort into somebody can really be beneficial in the long run. They can stay with you for longer, and they see it as kind of like, because they've gone from school to then a workplace through an apprenticeship, it's more comfortable for them rather than just jumping into a job that they know nothing about, trying to learn on the job then, and then compared to going through an apprenticeship, you're kind of learning as you go along, which I feel is more beneficial to them and us as employers, because we can learn about them more personally and make sure that we've got the right procedures in place that help each other. There's a lot of accountancy firms out there that often don't fund in personal development. So at Hammond Co, it is something that we take pride in. We like to ensure all staff are treated fairly and that there is a clear path for progression. A lot of individuals don't, like you say, don't know where to go and what to do next. But that's something we do feel passionate about, and we like to support other people and make sure that they're happy and that it suits what they want to do as well as suiting us as a business.